Hi, this is Tim Hicks. Welcome to GuitarGoods.com, and today we're going to be talking a little bit about some basic first position or open guitar chords. We're going to be looking at four chords, four basic chords here. We're going to take a look at C, A minor, E minor, and G. So we're going to focus down here a little bit on the first three frets. Now again, this is called first position. It's where most of our early chords that we learn are played. Again, this is for the folks who are first timers, just now learning guitar. The first thing I'm going to tell you is that there's some basic rules that I use when I'm playing down here in the first position. I try very much to keep my thumb sort of hanging around like this, mainly because the thumb is our largest finger on our hand, and it's attached to the largest muscle on our hand, and we can often use that to get some leverage and help as we squeeze to make chords. So it's really helpful. We'll do that as we get into some scale playing and some lead playing later on too. Second thing I like to try to do is keep my hand, when I'm making chords, I try to keep my hand in the shape of the letter C. I try to keep it curled. Now I see some people who do this, and what I say is that's not the letter C where I come from. So we want to make it the letter C, and basically we want to curl our hand and our fingers at each knuckle. Okay, as we come around and we play chords, that ensures that we're going to be attacking the strings correctly. And that leads me to the next part. We want to play the chords with our fingertips. We want to make sure that our fingers are curled. We don't want to lay our hands down like this. We don't want to flatten our fingers. We want them to be curled, so we use our fingertips. If we flatten them, the underneath side of our fingers is actually going to lay on the string below, and it will cause the string to sound very dead, and it just won't sound the way we're looking to make that chord. So, and the last thing I want to talk about is my wrist, and I'm just going to turn around here for a second and show you that when I'm making chords, that my wrist really doesn't change. One of the things you really want to avoid, especially with a couple of chords that we're going to show you today, is some people will do this and to try to make a chord because maybe it's difficult or just doesn't feel right. This is a terrible way to make your chords, and the reason I say that is when I do that, I suddenly feel all kinds of pain on the front part of my hand here. It also can develop some pain in your wrist, and you're not using your thumb correctly. You're putting all of the responsibility to make that chord on these fingers without the support of the wrist and the thumb. So try to keep the thumb up here, keep your wrist straight, and then let's talk about the chords. The first chord we're going to look at here is the C chord. And if you remember from our last lesson, the different intervals of half steps and whole steps, the fifth string is an A. So we have A, a whole step is B, a half step is C. So our third finger rather, on our finger's going to be numbered 1, 2, 3, and 4. Third finger is going to go on the third fret of string 5. Followed by the second finger, it's going to be on the second fret of string 4. And then our first finger we're going to curl this in real tightly, and I'm going to move around here and see if you can really get in there. I'm curling this in very tightly and playing this. And the reason I'm doing this is because I'm not allowing my fingers to touch the first string whatsoever. This is kind of a difficult thing to do. And you may have to rotate your hand around one way or another to get that, because everybody's hands are a little different sizes and fingers are different lengths. So but you want to do this. You don't want to lay that down on the first string because it will basically block out the sound of the first string. So going back over here, so this is a C chord. The C is played from the fifth string, or the C bass note, down. Great sound. Now the next chord we're going to move to is the A minor. Now the reason I like to do this in the beginning is because this requires the least amount of movement. The A minor is very close to the C. We're going to remove our third finger, and we're going to slide the middle finger over and tuck our third finger just underneath our middle finger. This is going to be on the second fret of string 3, and it's actually an A note. This is an A minor chord. Again, we're going to strum from the fifth string on this. Now we're going to move to the E minor. This is another easy change because we remove our first finger, and then with our two middle fingers that are still on there, we're going to move them simultaneously. and we're just going to move up one string. Keep them together, move them up one string. Now this is an E minor, and we're going to strum from the 6th string, which is an E, and it's going to sound like this. Then our last chord that we're going to show you is a G. Now on the G, our middle finger is already in the correct place, so we're going to lift up our 3rd finger, slide over our middle finger just a little bit to give us a little bit extra space here, and we're going to take our 3rd finger and we're going to go right up on the 6th string to the 3rd fret, which is a G. And then we're going to, almost as an afterthought, we're going to bring our pinky down. Now this is really tough when you're first starting, so hang in there. We're going to bring our pinky down. It's going to be on the 3rd fret of the 1st string. So our pinky and our 3rd finger are both playing G notes. If you remember, our 1st string and our 6th string are both E's. One's a high E, one's a low. Now we're playing G's at the same fret location, just different strings. Again, notice that my wrist is straight. Okay? You want to avoid this. This is what I see people do all the time, because the G is a very difficult chord to make at first. But you're putting all the responsibility of making the chord on the fingers without the help of the thumb and the wrist. So we want to bring that back up. And you'll notice that when I do that, my fingers really curl nicely. This is going to sound like this. So here we are. We have C, A minor, E minor, and G. So what I would recommend is that you take these chords, play 4 strums per each chord, and get used to changing them in that order. It'll make that a lot easier for you. So that's going to be a really good start for you as far as basic chords. We'll add some more down the road. But for today, try those 4 chords and see if that doesn't work for you. And I hope you have a great playing experience, and I hope this is very useful. Please let me know at tim@guitargoods.com if these videos are helpful for you. If there's something you'd like to see, let us know about that as well. We'll do our best to try to get that on there. So until next time, this is Tim with guitargoods.com. Thanks a lot for stopping by.